Pretty good. Good afternoon, everyone, and happy Sunday. Great to be back. Hope everyone has had a marvelous weekend. Speaking for myself, 3 days of solid partying. Nice to know I can still hang. Today we have the third game of a 3-game set between the Cubs and the Astros. These two clubs split the first two. This is the rubber game. Lefty Dick Ellsworth will start for the Cubs. The Astros will send righty Dave Justy to the mound. Checking in on our chat. Thank you, Ben. Welcome back to you as well. Hello there, Frank. Welcoming in Cosmo, Unmitigated. Let's see who else is here. Anyway, welcome in everybody. After a 4-day layoff, not expecting a huge crowd today because probably half of the people don't really believe I'm going to have a game today. And I don't blame them if that's the case. Yeah, I tell you what, and then still 2 guests in town, probably one last visiting. Oh my goodness, the party yesterday was insane. The food was catered by De Leon's, which is a Mexican store/restaurant here in Spokane. The food was incredible. The drinks flowed like water. And yeah, it was wow. And surprisingly, I'm not hungover. I'm a little fuzzy, but I'm not hungover. Let's take a look at our starting pitchers for today. Dick Ellsworth with a 5-4 record, a rather high 5.63 ERA. 12 starts, 3 complete games, including a shutout, 80 innings of work. Hits allowed very high at 102. For Segui, where is Segui? Segui, it's Justy. Good grief, already. Okay, Justy 3-2 with a 5.35, 10 starts, no complete games, 69 innings of work. I didn't think I had it in me, Cosmo. I really didn't. After Friday night, I'm thinking, oh, and tomorrow's the big party. I'm never going to make it. But I did. Here's the lineup for the Cubs today. Adolfo Phillips in center field leads things off. Glenn Beckert at second base. Billy Williams will be in right field with Ron Santo cleaning up at third base. Ernie Banks is at first base. Byron Brown in left. Randy Hundley to do the catching. Don Kessinger at shortstop. And Dick Ellsworth, the pitcher, hitting ninth. Who's hot, who's not at the top? Who's hot? Well, no surprise to see it's Jimmy Wynn. Last 10 games. And cold as an ice cube is Byron Brown. So, I'm about ready to play ball here. I'll give you the umpires for today's game. It's going to be Ed Vargo calling the balls and strikes, Doug Harvey at first, Harry Wendelstead at second, and Shag Crawford at third. All 4 colorful names. All 4 of those gentlemen I remember quite well. And we're about ready to go. Justy's ready to go to work. Here, up steps Adolfo Phillips. Phillips hitting .315 on the season, 4 home runs, 27 RBIs. Adjusting into the windup. The pitch now is a 4-7 right-handed. That's a liner to third base, single to 6. That's going to be a 12, and it's speared there by Bob Aspromani. A liner to third, 1 down. And that'll bring up the second baseman, Glenn Beckert. Beckert hitting .318 on the season, no home runs, 16 RBIs. Adjusting into the windup, the pitch is a 2-8 right-handed. Grounder down to third, backhanded by Aspromani. Throws to Mantilla in time. Two away, and here's Billy Williams. Williams on the season, .274 average, 12 home runs, tied for the team lead, and 36 RBIs, second on the team to Santo. Here's the pitch. 6-7 left-handed. Grounder second base X. Tough chance for Joe Morgan, 3E30, ranging to his left. The roll on a 3, and he can't get it. That's into right field for a base hit. 2-out single for Williams. And yeah, things heating up again in Spokane as well. We picked 3 good days for partying. Temperatures in the 80s. Today, a different story. 95. Well, Frank, they know I'm on YouTube. In fact, my cousin's fiance's brother I met for the first time. He works for Microsoft. We were talking about tech, and I was saying, yeah, I can't really use, I'm not good at using my phone. I can't find things on there. I'd rather use a laptop. And then my cousin says, you know, he has a YouTube show, and he thought he was joking. I said, no, I stream about 6 days a week. He goes, dude, you're cutting edge for your age. Here's Santo. Justy from the stretch. That's going to be a 3-7 right-handed, and he loses in ball 4, pitching carefully to Santo. Santo, of course, comes into the game the Cubs' best player, .361 average, 12 homers, 42 RBIs. So first and second, 2 down, and here's Mr. Cub, Ernie Banks. Banks at .266, 5 home runs, 22 RBIs. Justy checks the runners. Comes to the plate, 6-5, fly to center. That's going to be playable for Jimmy Wynn, and that'll wrap up the top of the first. No runs, a hit, 2 left for the Cubs. After a half, Chicago nothing. Houston coming to bat against Dick Ellsworth. Here's Ellsworth now, and here's the Houston lineup. Joe Morgan leads it off at second base. Sonny Jackson at shortstop. Jimmy Wynn batting third in center field. Dave Nicholson will be in right field. Felix Mantilla is at first base today. Bob Aspromani, of course, down at third. John Bateman will do the catching and hit 7th. Rusty Staub in left field moves to the 8th spot. And Justy, a pretty good hitting pitcher, in the 9th spot. So here's Joe Morgan to lead off the bottom of the first. Morgan hitting .272, 3 home runs, 28 RBIs. Hello there, Colin. How are you? That racket in the background you hear, of course, is Mookie scaling the tower. Left on left, here's the pitch to Ellsworth. It's a 4-8. Morgan drops one into right field in front of Billy Williams, rounds and holds at first with a leadoff single. Let's check the battery for Chicago now. Ellsworth is 0, Hundley is 0, so Morgan, a star 15, will be held at 13. And we'll see how Houston wants to play this. Early in the game, they're just going to swing away. Sonny Jackson hitting .310 on the year. That's second on the ball club. 3 homers, 26 RBIs. From the stretch, it's going to be a 2-7, and he rips that into right field for a base hit. Morgan does not hesitate and heads straight into third. The runners at the corners, nobody out. And here comes Jimmy Wynn. I don't know, Frank, Cooperstown? I think there must be a reason for it. Jimmy Wynn on the year. Fantastic numbers, as you all know. A .329 average, 17 home runs, a league-leading 62 runs batted in his last 10 games, .294 with 5 homers and 15 RBIs. Infield at double play depth. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a 1-8 left-handed. Grounder back to the pitcher. Ellsworth goes down to Beckert for 1, on to first, not in time, and a run will score. It's going to be a 1-4 force play. Jackson erased. Morgan scores. Wynn picks up another RBI. And it's 1-0 Astros. That'll bring up the right fielder, Dave Nicholson. Nicholson hitting just .226, 5 homers, 16 RBIs. Ellsworth working from the stretch. The pitch is a 6-3 right-handed. Fly to left field X. That's going to be a tough chance for Brown, who's a 4E12. Racing to the gap now on a 6, and he's not going to get that. That's going to be a double, 2-star double. So Wynn will have to stop at third. So Houston jumping all over Ellsworth here in the first inning. And welcome, Bill. How you doing? That brings up Felix Mantilla. Mantilla in 62 at-bats, hitting .290, 4 homers, 13 RBIs. One down, second and third. Cubs are going to pull him in. Infield in for Mantilla. Ellsworth with the windup and the pitch. On a 4-2, he walks him to load the bases. And that's going to send Hundley out to the mound in the first inning. Trying to settle Ellsworth down a bit. Bob Aspromonte due. Aspromonte, .244, 3 homers, 18 RBIs. And greetings to Perry. Thank you, Perry. Appreciate that. There was some talk of an earlier get-together today. A couple of them are going to go downtown and do the beer trail. And I just said, I'll see you later in the evening. I've got to get back on the air and get a game in. Welcome to Dan Douglas. So Houston, with a run across, have loaded the bases with 1 out in the bottom of the first. Here's Aspromonte, Ellsworth, infield double play depth now. Full windup, and the pitch on a 1-6 is a liner towards second. That's single to 16. And it's knocked down by Beckert, but he has no play. That'll go as an infield single, and another run scores. Wynn crosses the plate. Nicholson to third, Mantilla to second, and it's 2-0 Astros. Starting to smell like a Sunday blowout. It's still early. Here's the catcher, John Bateman, hitting .277, 5 home runs, 23 RBIs. Ellsworth gets the sign. The pitch is a 1-8 lefty, and he drops that one into right field in front of Williams for a base hit. Nicholson will score. Mantilla rounding. 12, Williams a +1, 13. With 1 out, they're going to hold him up. So an RBI single for Bateman makes it 3-0. Bases still loaded. Only one out, and here's Rusty Staub. Staub on the season. 301 average, 7 home runs, 40 runs batted in. Second on the team to Jimmy Wynn, of course. Lefty-left matchup. Here's the pitch from Ellsworth. That's going to be a 3-11. Grounder to second. Taylor-made double play ball. Beckert to Kessinger for 1. On to Banks, double play. So in some ways, they got out of that cheaply enough. 3 runs scored for the Astros on 5 hits. They leave a pair. And after an inning, lead it 3-0. Once again, welcome into all. Just getting underway here. Hope everyone's had a marvelous weekend. I can tell you right now, I don't think it's possible that anyone's had a better weekend than I had. And hello to Doug Hunt. Justy takes the mound for the second inning. Byron Brown, who's colder than ice, 5 for his last 38, a 132 average. On the season, 241, 8 homers, 28 RBIs. Justy into the windup. That's a 6'9" right-hander. That's a high fly ball to deep left field. Going back is Staub. At the track, at the wall. It's off the wall. Rounding second, headed for third is Brown, and he's in there with a triple. So Brown trying to break out of his slump here, leads off the second with a triple. And that's going to bring up the catcher, Randy Hundley. Hundley hitting .250, 9 home runs, 27 RBIs. Houston will play it back, leading by 3, and here's the pitch to Hundley. That's going to be a 6-7 right-handed. Grounder to second base X. Morgan will be tested once again, 3E30. Here's the play on a 15. He makes the play, and his only play is to first, and a run will score. So 4-3. Brown crosses the plate to make it 3-1. Hello, Thomas. An oddity from the 1958 replay. The Dodgers beat the Braves 7-4 in 22 innings. Well, Cosmo, I don't use the injuries since I'm using as-played lineups. Here's Kessinger. Kessinger batting .260, no homers, 8 RBIs, switch hitter hitting left-handed. Pitch from Justy's a 1-7 righty, right in the heart of his good column. He hits a shallow fly ball to center, Wynn waiting on it, and puts it away. And here's Dick Ellsworth now, left-handed hitter. The pitch on a 3-6, grounds it to short. Jackson charging, gloves it on the run, throws him out. And the Cubs will settle for 1 in the second. 1 run, 1 hit, nobody left. And now let's see if Ellsworth can settle down a little bit in the second. Justy will lead it off. He's a 4, right-hander weak. Ellsworth's pitch on a 1-5. That's banged into left field for a leadoff single. So Justy joins the hit parade. That turns the lineup over and brings up Joe Morgan. Morgan singled and scored in the first. Ellsworth from the stretch on a 5-9 lefty, and that is high and deep to right field. He has end power against the lefties. Back goes Williams at the track, at the wall. It's off the wall for extra bases. That's going to be a double for Morgan. They're going to hold Justy at third. And the Astros in business again here in the second. Second and third, nobody out. And the heart of the order coming to bat. I'm not sure how long we can stick with Ellsworth here today. The most double plays. Well, off the top of my head, Bill, I would say Mazeroski. Trailing by 2, the Cubs are going to bring the infield in for Jackson. He's an A bunter, among other things. Ellsworth into the windup. That's going to be a 2-4, and that's banged into right center. 2-base hit will score 2 runs. Triple to 7, and Jackson's rounding second, digging for third. Here comes Williams' throw. Jackson slides in safe with a 2-run triple. And the Astros have blown it open 5-0. That's going to get somebody up in the Cubs' pen. I want to take a look at this uncarded computer-only Connors for a minute here. This might be a good game for Connors. A lot of righties coming up. Connors is going to be throwing. And he's going to be joined by the left-hander, Bob Hendley. Coming to the plate, Jimmy Wynn. Wynn grounded out to the pitcher, and even in that play was able to drive in a run. Infield pulled in for Jimmy. The pitch from Ellsworth. That's going to be a 2-5. Grounder to short. A+ with the infield in. That goes as a hit. And man, the Cubs cannot buy a break today. RBI single for Wynn makes it 6-0. And here comes DeRocher, and that is going to do it for Ellsworth. With the righties coming in, they're going to go to Connors. Connors pitched in this game in real life. Six to 1 is the score. I think I said 6-0. I correct myself. Ellsworth fails to record an out in the second. Nine hits. 6 runs so far. Runner on first, his responsibility. -1 battery now, win of 14. Nicholson will swing away, doubled his first time up. Here's the pitch now from Connors. On a 2-9 right-handed, it's a high fly ball to deep left. Going back is Brown at the track, at the wall, and makes the catch at the wall. And here's Mantilla now. Walked his first time up. Connors from the stretch. It's a 1-8 righty. Hard smash to third. Sano gloves it down to Beckert for one. On to first. 5-4-3 double play. So Connors comes in and restores order. Too late perhaps, as Houston scores 3 more on 4 hits. Nobody left. And the score now 6-1 Astros. For Ellsworth, 6 earned runs. He walked 1 and did not strike out anyone. Hey, there is Franklin. Hello, Franklin. So Dave Justy takes a 5-run lead to the third. Astros at 500 right now, 28-28. Cubs sinking fast, 22-31. Top of the order for Chicago, Adolfo Phillips will start it off. Justy gets the sign from Bateman now and makes the pitch. It's a 4-6 right-handed and he loses him ball 4. So presented with a 5-run lead, Justy walks the first batter. Let's check their battery now. -1 for Justy. Bateman is 0. So Phillips is 16. He'll have to be held on at 14. Whether he wants to run or not down by 5, we shall see. They're going to let Beckert take a swing first. Justy out of the stretch is a 4-6 righty, and he loses him ball 4. So back-to-back walks to open up the third. Whoops, I left the pitcher's card behind. There we go. First and second, nobody out, and here comes Billy Williams, Ron Santo on deck. Cubs trying to get back in this game now. Williams singled in the first. I would guess Greg Maddux on the trivia question, which is what pitcher is involved in the most lifetime double plays? Justy. The pitch is a 4-9 left-handed. That's a liner to second, single to 4. And on a 15, it's speared there by Joe Morgan for the first out of the inning. That brings up Sano. The Cubs' best hitter walked in the first. Justy checks the runners. The pitch to Sano is a 5-7 righty, and Sano lines it into center field for a hit. Phillips rounding, 16, win a 0. They're going to send him, and the Astros will cut it off, keeping Beckert at second, Sano to first. So Phillips will score on the RBI single by Ron Santo. That makes the score 6-2. With 1 down, Ernie Banks will be the batter. So it was Bob Lemon. Okay. Good work, Bill. And good work unmitigated. Runners take their lead. Justy with the windup. The pitch to Banks on a 2-11. It's a high fly ball to deep left field. Going back is Staub at the track, at the wall, leaps up, and it's gone. 3-run shot, Ernie Banks, and we've got a ball game again. Holy cow, let's take another look at it. 2-11 righty, homer to 16. Just did get it over the fence. Scoring ahead of him, Beckert and Santo. And it's a 1-run ball game. 3-run shot for Ernie Banks. Hang on a second here. For Banks, his 6th home run of the season. And even Justy looks a bit stunned. Too much sun for Bill. Oh, I got it. That was a guess. An educated guess, to be sure. Matic's a ground ball pitcher, pitched a long time. Here's Brown now. Justy rubbing up a new ball, stares in to get the sign. Here's the pitch on a 3-7, called strike 3. So Byron Brown, pretty much the king of the whiff, okay? For Brown, that is his 62nd strikeout of the season. 2 away, and here's Hundley. Justy's pitch now is a 4-8 right-handed grounder to shortstop. Routine for Jackson. Throws him out, and that will do it. But the Cubs get back in the game with a 4-run third on only 2 hits. The big blow, of course, a 3-run homer by Ernie Banks. And Cosmo has a Strat question. Okay, the base runner advance. All right, sometimes it's written into the card. Okay, like take Aspromani with a 1-7 single 2 stars. That's a 2-base advance. A 1-star is a 1-base advance. But then you get to these ones that are opened. And then you look at the out single to center. So here you're going to take the base runner's running rating combined with the outfielder's arm. That's the simple version. If a runner's going first to third, if the ball's hit to right field, you add 2. If it's hit to left field, you subtract 2, and you don't subtract or add anything if it's hit to center field. Other than that, if there's no base advance, you just assume 1 base on a single, 2 on a double, etc. And Henley's going to sit down. Billy Heft begins throwing alongside righty Cal Kuntz. And Bill Connors will start the inning. At least face the 2 right-handers. We'll have to see about Rusty Staub. Connors, not bad against righties, but just horrible against lefties. Circle. Aspromani will lead off the bottom of the third. Singled his first time up. Connors into the windup. Pitch to Aspromani on a 3-10 righty. That's going to be hit into left center for a base hit. Triple to 3. And would you look at that? It's a 2. Aspromani gets past Brown. Aspromani rounding second, digging for third, and he's in there with the 3rd triple of this ball game. So triples are back in style here. And Billy Heft getting ready in a hurry now as John Bateman comes to bat. Bateman singled in a run his first time up. Infield in. Connors with the pitch. 4-6 right-handed, and he hits it high and deep. That's going to be over Phillips' head in center. Bateman ends up at second base with a double. Aspromani scores, and that makes it 7-5 Astros. And here comes DeRocher. That's going to do it for Connors. The lefty Heft will come in. We'll see about a double switch early in the game. Heft rated 2 for relief endurance. Justy, a right-hander. They're going to double switch in left field and bring in George Altman. He'll go into the 9 spot and play left. With the pitcher going in Byron Brown's spot, the 6 spot. Brown, an easy victim here because he came into this game 5 for 38 in his last 10 games. Oh, I know he has a triple in this one. But I don't think the Cubs will miss Brown and his prolific strikeout rate. So it's Altman in left. He's a 4E13 plus 1. So more or less the same defense as Brown. And Billy Heft will be the pitcher. With the left-handed Rusty Staub coming to bat. Give me just a second here. What happened to all of my things? Okay. Take a look at Heft's numbers as he gets loose. Heft 1-1 with 2 saves, but a very high 6.98 ERA so far. Thank you, World's Worst, and welcome in. Anyone other than Perry experiencing any technical issues? Looks okay on my end. I'm monitoring it. Cubs will pull the infield. No, they won't. Bateman's at second with nobody out. Here's Staub now facing a left-hander. Heft with the pitch on a 6'10 left-hander. It's a fly ball to left field. He lifts it the other way. And that's going to be Altman making the catch. Once again, you come into the game and the ball finds you. Here's Justy, right-handed batter. Heft's pitch on a 3-6, called strike 3. 2 down, and here's Joe Morgan. Another left-on-left matchup, and here's the pitch. It's going to be a 4-4 lefty. Catcher's card, that's Hundley. Hundley, a fine catcher, 2E6. Here's the roll on the play on a 15. It's a pass ball followed by a foul out, and that'll end the inning. Astros settle for 1 on 2 hits they leave him in, and after 3 complete, it's 7-5 Houston. Anybody's game now. Justy taking the mound for the 4th. Justy a rocky 3rd inning, in which he gave up 2 walks and a home run. Don Kessinger will start things off for Chicago. Justy's pitch to the left-hander, 2-12 grounder back to Justy. He scoops it and fires to Mantilla. That'll bring up George Altman, the new left fielder, for his first at-bat of the game. Altman just 10 for 80 on the season. He does have 1 homer, 11 RBIs, average at 125. Here's the pitch. It's a 1-7 fly to center, playable for Jimmy Wynn. And there's 2 away. Here's Phillips now, 0 for 1 with a walk, just the end of the windup. 6-9 right-hander, that's drilled high and deep to left field. Backing up is Staub, and it is gone. Home run, Adolfo Phillips. And it's a 1-run game once again. 6-9 homer to 11. He has the power, at least against right-handers. And for Adolfo, home run number 5 on the season. Makes it 7-6. Here's Beckert, 0 for 1 with a walk. Justy rated 7 for endurance, not looking like he's going to make that. Here's the pitch to Beckert on a 2-3. Beckert lines that one to left field for a 2-out single. So Beckert joins the hit parade. Star 16, 15 held on at 13. And the batter, Billy Williams. Justy out of the stretch. The pitch is a 4-8 left-hander. He pops him up right side. Mantilla, he has it. And that'll wrap up the top of the 4th. The Cubs get a run on the Phillips homer and make the score 7-6. Oh my. Well, this is more like it. At least from an entertainment standpoint. It looked like the Astros were going to run away and hide. Cubs right back in this one. Stretching for a minute, excuse me. All right, Billy Heft facing Sonny Jackson. Jackson 2 for 2. Single and a triple. Excuse me, I'm going to get a drink of water. All right, Heft ready to work. Here's the pitch to Sonny Jackson. It's a 2-2. Pops him up right side. Beckert will take it, and there's 1 down. And here comes the toy cannon, 1 for 2 on the day. Heft into the windup. That's going to be a 6-6 right-handed, and he loses him ball 4. Perhaps pitching cautiously to Wynn. And now Heft with a poor hold, so we find Wynn a star 18, held at 16. And Dave Nicholson coming to bat. Wynn is going to try for that lead. Automatically out on 10 or 11. On a 5, he's got the lead. 1-16, the throw down from Hundley, stolen it on a possible overthrow. Checking Hundley now, 1-10. And Hundley throws the ball into center field. Wynn ends up on third base. Stolen base and an error. So Houston gambled sending Wynn, and it paid off big time as Hundley throws the ball away. Now the Cubs in a 1-run game will pull the infield in for Dave Nicholson. Heft gets the sign, the full windup. Pitch to Nicholson on a 6-10 righty. Fly ball to center field. Phillips backing up. That's going to be deep enough for Wynn to tag and score. And that makes it 8-6. So the Astros manufacture a run here in the 4th. 2 down, and here's Mantilla. Heft's pitch is a 3-3, and Mantilla hard ground ball through the hole and into left field. That'll bring up Strat-O-Matic, who's 2 for 2, and has one of the game's triples. Heft gets the sign now from the stretch. It's a 2-9 hard smash to third. Santo across to Banks, and that'll do it. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 left. Through 4 complete. It's Astros 8, Cubs 6. I'll tell you, Cosmo, for the longest time, the only thing I ever used YouTube for was to watch live concert video. Then I stumbled on Rick Beato, so it was pretty much all music related. But man, did it ever grow like wildfire. Holy cow. Okay, Justy to the 5th. Here's Sano, singled and walked so far. Justy entered the windup. The pitch to Sano on a 110. He pops him up left side. That's Sonny Jackson. He puts it away, 1 down. Oh, Mookie's around. He's up at the top of the tower, in fact. Ernie Banks, 1 for 2. It was a big one. 3-run homer in the 3rd. Justy into the windup. That's going to be a 4-7 right-handed. Liner to 3rd, single to 6, and that's going to be speared by a fully outstretched Strat-O-Matic. And 2 out, the batter is Heft. And they're going to let him hit. The lefty part of the Astro lineup coming up, they really need Heft. That's going to be a 5-5. Heft is a 2 left-handed hitter. That's going to be a lazy fly ball to left. Staub there to make the play, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Justy. So DeRocher sticking with Heft. We'll see how it pays off here. It's Bateman and then the 3 left-handers in the Astro lineup with the pitcher sandwiched in between. Bateman will start it off. He's 2 for 2 on the day. Heft into the windup. That's going to be a 3-5 left-handed, and that's ripped into the left center gap. Trying to cut it off is Altman. Double to 16, and Altman does cut it off. Bateman rounds, but scurries back to first and holds with a long single. John Bateman, 3 for 3 on the day. Here's Staub now, 0 for 2. Heft was brought in the 3rd inning to face Staub, got him to fly to left. The pitch now is a 5-6 left-hander. That's going to be a grounder to first base. Banks has it. He goes down to Kessinger for 1. Back to first, not in time. That's going to be a 3-6 force. Staub at first now, and Justy, an A bunter, coming up, and the Cubs will bring it in. He's going to swing away. Right-handed batter. 5-5 hard grounder to short. Kessinger, 2 Beckert, 2 Banks, double play. Well, that was definitely the wrong call there by DeRocher. Excuse me, that was the wrong call by Hatton, having Justy swing away. It was the right call by DeRocher, as Heft throws up the ground ball double play. 5 innings in the books, 8-6 Astros, and I'm going to top off my coffee. Yeah, that's more like it. Good game today. We moved to the 6th inning. Randy Hundley will start things off. Justy gets the sign. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a 4-8 right-handed grounder to short, fielded by Sonny Jackson. He throws him out. 1 away. Here's Kessinger. Justy with the pitch. That's going to be a 3-3. Foul ball right side. Mantilla over by the railing puts it away. And the batter will be George Altman with 2 down. Justy into the windup. 6-6 lefty. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. 1-2-3 inning for Justy, who seems to have settled down. Billy Heft getting warmed up for the bottom of the 6th. Cal Kuntz, the righty, begins to toss again in the Cubs' pen. So you have to figure that Heft will face the 2 lefties and then give way to the right-hander. Joe Morgan 2 for 3 on the day. Heft into the windup. That's going to be a 4-8 left-handed. That is a ground ball to second, single to 18, and that's going to be through into right field. Leadoff single for Joe Morgan. The +3 battery, Morgan 18, held at 16. That's too good to pass up. Morgan will roll for the lead. 4 through 6, he's out on a 12. 9, he does not get it. And here's Jackson. Against the lefty, he's laying it down. He's an A. 9A, that's good enough to get it done. Sacrifice, which will score 5-3. Morgan to second. I had a request. I almost forgot about that. In the messages, someone asked me if I would list the play on a sacrifice, the assist and the putout. Easy enough to do. And here comes DeRocher, and as expected, he's going to go to the righty, with Jimmy Wynn coming to bat. It's going to be Cal Kuntz. Just noticed I failed to write in Heft. So Connors worked an inning, gave up 2 hits and a run. Heft, 1, 2, 3 1/3. Wow. I was not aware he worked that long. Okay. So Heft came in. He only gave up 2 hits, no runs. So a fine job out of the pen for Billy Heft to keep the Cubs in this game. Runner on second is his responsibility. He walked 1 and struck out 1. Kuntz on the year, 3-2 with a 3.75 in 21 appearances. Runner in scoring position, 1 out. Jimmy Wynn, the batter. I'm really thinking about putting him on to set up the double play. The downside of that, of course, is Nicholson does not have a ground ball A on his card. Kuntz brought in to pitch to Wynn, and he will face him. Here's the, whoa! As Wynn fouls one back, I've got dice all over the place. Okay, Kuntz gets a new ball. The pitch to Wynn is a 1-7, and that is going to drive in another run. Wynn does it again, double to 6. 2-star single, drives in Morgan, and makes it 9-6. And the torrid Jimmy Wynn just continues to deliver. +3 battery now, 18 held at 16. Nicholson will swing away. That's going to be a 5-7, swung on and missed, strike 3. 2 down, and Felix Mantilla will be the batter. Kuntz into the windup now. That's going to be a 3-10 right-hander, lazy fly ball to center, Phillips under it, and that will end the inning. The Astros get an insurance run on 2 hits, leave a man, and after 6, they lead it 9-6. And, you know, I mean, he's good, but he's not that good. He hit .256 that year with 18 home runs, okay? Just to refresh your memory, he came into this game hitting .329 with 17 home runs already. We're only about a third of the way through the season. With 3 RBIs today, he now has 65, which leads the league. First endurance inning for Justy as we move to the 7th. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with me today. Great to be back and great to have all you guys back. Top of the order for the Cubs. Adolfo Phillips, 1 for 2, walked and then homered his last time up. Justy's pitch on a 3-6. He rips that high and deep to left. That's going to be over Staub's head for extra bases. Adolfo cruises in with a stand-up double. And that's going to get some activity going on in the Astros pen. Right, left, right, left. I'm going to check their usage here real quick. I know who I'd like to bring in. The right-hander Don Lee begins to throw. Unavailable for this game, Claude Raymond, which I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing for the Astros. Glenn Beckert, the hitter. Justy checks the runner. Now comes to the plate. 3-12 righty. Lomax. Liner to third. Strat-O-Matic back to second, and they've got Phillips. Another tough break for the Cubs. Beckert lines into the double play, and 2 down, nobody on. Here's Williams. Justy's pitch to Williams on a 4-6 lefty, swung on and missed, strike 3. And for Justy, just his 3rd strikeout of the game. And that sets the Cubs down in the 7th. No runs a hit, nobody left. So we go to the Mookie stretch with the Astros leading 9-6. He's certainly one of the big ones, unmitigated. Yeah, that's funny, Frank, but you know what I mean? The Giants' problem is not their center fielder. And there's the Mook. Let's go around. There you go, 95 degrees, and he's at the top of the tower. Well, yeah, it's not anywhere near 95 degrees inside, is it, Mook? He likes to look outside. What are you looking at, Mookie? Mookie the cat, say hello to everybody. Meow. 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 Yeah. Hello, buddy. I don't know what he's seeing out there. I don't see anything. He's just hanging. He does, doesn't he? Gotta get another shot of that tail. All righty. Cal Kuntz on the mound for the Cubs. Bob Aspromani will lead it off for Houston. Toonces has nothing on Mookie. You'll have to explain that, unmitigated. You know, I haven't let him drive yet. He's definitely a good rider. Aspromani 2 for 3 on the day. Kuntz into the windup. That's going to be a 2-9 right-hander. Routine grounder to short, picked up by Kessinger, who throws him out. And there's one away. Here's Bateman now. Bateman the catcher, 3 for 3 on the day. Singled in a run in the first, doubled in a run in the third, and singled again in the fifth. Kuntz with the pitch on a 1-8, and he bangs that into left field for his 4th hit of the day. A big day for the catcher, John Bateman. And And the batter will be Rusty Staub. Staub 0 for 3 today. Kuntz out of the stretch. 1-9 right-handed. It's a grounder wide of second. Becker to his left. Only play to first as Bateman moves to second on the play. And that makes it decision time for the Astros. Justy coming to bat. Leading 9-6. And a pretty good hitting pitcher. We're going to let him hit. 2-7 righty. He struck him out. And that ends the 7th inning. No runs, a hit, 1 left for Houston. The Astros, as usual, not in any hurry to get into that bullpen. They're going to ride Justy as long as they can as we move to the 8th. Yeah, I still don't know what Tuntz's is. But whoever he is, he does have nothing on Mookie. Here's Santo, 1 for 2 with a walk. Justy into the windup. That's going to be a 3-7, and Santo draws the leadoff walk. Don Lee is joined by righty Chris Zachary now in the Astros pen. Oh, okay. I've never seen that. That's why I didn't get it. Here's Banks, whose 3-run homer back in the 3rd made the game interesting. He's 1 for 3 today. Justy from the stretch. That's going to be a 3-9. Grounder to short, double play ball. It's Jackson to Morgan to Mantilla. And now the Astros will send up a batter for Kuntz. I'm sorry, the Cubs get in the game, Steve. The Cubs will send up a batter for Kuntz. Likely to be Lee Thomas. And that's who it will be. So Lee Thomas now to face Justy. Thomas 7 for 28 since coming over to the Cubs, a .250 average. He does have 1 home run. Justy with the pitch. It's going to be a 3-8 right-handed grounder down to first. Mantilla feeds Justy covering, and that'll do it. Bottom of the 8th, the score remains the same. And now, new pitcher needed for Chicago, the 5th pitcher of the day. One 2/3 for Kuntz. Oh, Heft did give up a run. Okay. Actually, I screwed this up somewhere. 6 runs. No, 3, 4, 6 runs. 1 run for Connors. Heft gave up 2 runs. So how I got 0 in there, I do not know. Kuntz 2 hits, no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts. With Morgan, Jackson, and Wynn coming up, we're going to go to another lefty, Bob Hendley. Henley will be the 5th Chicago pitcher today. Henley 1-1 with a 3.98 ERA on the season. He's made 4 starts, pitched 9 games out of the pen. Yeah, I watched like the first and the second generation. Not much since then, except for the Saturday Night Live Jeopardy, of course. But most of that you can find on YouTube. Okay, the left-hander brought on to pitch the bottom of the 8th. Joe Morgan to lead things off. Morgan has 3 hits on the day and has scored 3 times. Henley into the windup. Pitch to Morgan on a 2-5. Liner to first, single to 5, and that is speared by Ernie Banks. Here's Jackson, 2 for 4. Henley with the side, the windup, the pitch on a 5-6, fly to straightaway center. Backing up is Phillips to make the play. So 2 quick outs here, and here's Jimmy Wynn. Wynn digging in from the right side. Henley with the pitch. It is a 2-9 lefty, called strike 3. Wynn rung up by Vargo. And it's a 1-2-3-8 for Henley. Let's check the Houston defense before we go to the 9th. Wynn, Nicholson. Actually, it looks pretty good. The only one I might replace is Mantilla. And he's due to bat second if he's needed to in the bottom of the 9th. So Don Lee is sat down. Zachary just about ready in the pen. Justy will begin the inning. And the Cubs have Hundley, Kessinger, and the pitcher's spot. Justy trying to go the distance. This is his 3rd endurance inning. Randy Hundley 0 for 3 today. Justy into the windup. That's a 6-7 right-handed grounder, second base X. Morgan will be tested again, 3:30. And here's the roll on a 7. Stopped by Morgan, flips it over to Mantilla. Nice play, Joe Morgan. Here's Kessinger now. And Ty Klein moves into the on-deck circle. Justy into the windup. That's going to be a 3-6 righty. He pops him up right side. Mantilla, he's got it. And the Cubs are down to their last out, and it will be Ty Klein. Whoops, no it won't. I'm sorry, it's not the pitcher's spot at all. I beg your pardon. It's Altman. Altman or Klein. Altman will bat. So it's up to Altman, who's 0 for 2. Justy into the windup. The pitch on a 5-7 left-handed high fly ball to center, double to 8. Going back is Wynn. It's over his head. And Altman keeps the Cubs' hopes alive with a 2-out double. Cubs need one more base runner to get the tying run to the plate. 9-6, 2 down in the 9th, and here's Adolfo Phillips. Walked, homered, and doubled in this one. Justy with the pitch. That's going to be a 5-3 right-handed. It's a ground ball to the pitcher X. Justy, a good fielder, 2E7. This should do it. Here's the roll on an 8. Error rate. It's a 6 on an E7. And Justy makes a fine play to end the ball game. 1-3X, and that'll do it. 9-6 is the final, and I'll have the totals in just a moment. Thanks, everybody, for being here today. Good crowd on hand. Justy goes the distance with the win, improves to 4-2 on the season. For Justy, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hits allowed, 6 runs. He walked 3, he walked 4. So not a pretty performance by Justy, but good enough to win. He struck out 3. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate that. I missed it too. Hey, Mike, see, there you are. I'm sure you came in earlier and I just missed it. Hendley worked an inning, 1, 2, 3 with a K. Loss goes to Ellsworth, of course. He drops to 5-5. Player of the game, anyone? Hey there, Al. Great chat as always. Absolutely, Perry. Thank you, everybody. We're going to take a look ahead at the schedule here in a second. Astros 9 runs, 15 hits, no errors. Cubs 6 runs, 8 hits, and an error. Player of the game. It's spread around pretty good today, isn't it? 3 hits for Morgan. Wynn, 2 hits, 3 RBIs. 4 hits for Bateman, 2 RBIs. I'm kind of leaning Bateman with a 4-hit game. Franklin likes that. Let's see what everybody else has to say. I'm really leaning heavily to Bateman. Tomorrow's game will be the Reds at the Mets. That's going to be Don Notabart for the Reds, Jack Fisher for the Mets. Aspercream for the outstretching. Well, yeah. And he did have a triple. We're going to go with John Bateman. A guy not likely to get it very often, so he walks away with the toaster today. Tomorrow, 1:30 Pacific, 4:30 Eastern. Tuesday's game, I believe that's the one that's going to be an hour later. Let me check that here. Oh, and of course it will not let me log into that for some reason. Let me check that. There's another way to get to the calendar. Yeah, Tuesday game will be 2:30 Pacific, 5:30 Eastern. Due to a chiropractic appointment. But tomorrow game will be at 1:30. And that is, once again, Reds at Mets. As we wrap up that series. These are Sunday games, so let's take a look here. We've got June the 12th. 1, 2, 3, 4 more games on the schedule for Sunday, and then we'll have a stats update. It seems like it's been a while since we've had one. I should have changed that postpone thing. I'll fix that later. Anyway, thank you, everybody, for watching today. Please join me tomorrow. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take care, everybody. Have a great evening.